Good day, dear chess lovers. Probably you know that yesterday Anatoly Karpov turned 70, and I thought that it might be a good idea to analyze one of his games and publish on my channel, thus giving tribute to the 12th World Chess Champion. This game I really adore. It's a very dramatic one where White King reaches the center of the board but somehow miraculously manages to survive. The following game Karpov played against Soviet-Russian chess grandmaster Alexander Zaitsev. This game was played in 1970 at Russian Championship. Karpov opened up with e4, to which Zaitsev answered with c6. Caro-Kann defense is on the board. By the way, the humming noise, which you can hear behind, is coming from laptop fans. Yeah, each time I'm turning on Stockfish, they are starting to run very loudly. This time I decided to leave Stockfish run in order you can see the evaluation because the game is extremely complex. So Black chose the so-called Karpov variation by playing knight bd7. Black is intending to recapture on f6 with the queenside knight, thus not allowing White to damage the kingside pawn structure. Bishop f5 c3 and e6. This seems to be a dubious move. Playing knight d5 or bishop e6 are better continuation. And the problem with this e6 move is that this is allowing White to launch an aggressive pawn storm on the king side and create problems for his opponent. c5 Black is undermining White's center, but these kingside pawns are unstoppable and they are moving forward. f3. Well, an inaccuracy by Karpov. Rook h4 is the move which allows White to keep the advantage. I want you to understand the difference. In this case, if c takes d4, then g5, and if here, then g takes f6. And White is managing to win. Yeah, of course, in case after rook h4, you choose this c takes d4, but rook h4 is anyways is better. But now when you are playing f3, a move made in the game is something which is weakening this g3 square. And now after c takes d4, if you play g5, then bishop takes e5 can follow, and then Black has this unpleasant check, and suddenly it's White who is in trouble. Yeah, that's why it was good to play rook h4 and keep this g3 square strong. Also, the rook can be useful on the fourth rank. Instead, we see f3 and c takes d4 followed, queen b5 check, knight d7, and knight takes f7. This is crazy, guys, what's happening on the board. Yeah, seems like this knight takes f7 is another inaccuracy by Karpov, but who cares, guys, he's adding fuel to the fire. Oops, at this point we first see a check from g3, Black is forcing White king to move, and then he's announcing another check, and after queen e3 we see queen f6. Well, winning this knight straight away is even better, you know, guys, but the position remains so complex, it's so complex that over the board understanding the difference is not that easy. In the game queen f6 was made, Black is hitting on f3, and we have another very bold move by Karpov, king takes e4. Yeah, this is better than f takes e4. In this case, Black is managing to win, you know, a6. And what are you going to play? If here, then queen takes f7. You should not allow Black to intrude inside your camp, you know. This is really not good. That's why in the game we see this king takes e4 move. White king is in the center, but there are no direct threats, you know. Still, Black has a preferable position, but one wrong step can allow White to turn the table. a6, queen g5, h6. All the time Black is harassing White queen, and now White will try to consolidate his position. King takes d3. Seems like that e5 was not that good, and now gradually White is starting to consolidate his position and equalize the game. You know how it goes. Bishop takes c1, rook takes c1, queen takes a2. At this point we have an equality on the board, but okay, rook f8, rook d2, but now gradually White will start to gain initiative because White has superior quality pawns, and the bishop will soon dominate over Black knight. queen c6, bishop d3. Yeah, it's time to activate this bishop. And seems like that king c7 is another mistake. Playing king b8 and then queen c7 is good, you know. Why on earth did Zaitsev keep the king on the c file? It's not clear. Yeah, seems like that after that move we see a huge jump in evaluation. But understanding the difference again, it's somewhat tricky, you know, guys. I myself really can't see a huge difference between these king c7 and king b8 moves. Really it's difficult to understand the difference. If you can tell us a little bit more about it, we'll be really thankful. But meanwhile we see king c7 and now gradually white is starting to gain initiative and is starting to put pressure on this isolated e file. Rook cd1, knight f6, bishop g6, rook e7, rook e1. Yeah, it's time to bring white rooks on the e file and target these pawns. Knight d7, bishop f5, and now white is threatening to remove black knight and win this pawn. For example, if rook e8, then rook e3, and then f4, and then bishop g6, bishop takes e4. After bishop f5, black decided to give up the exchange, thus save the pawn on e5, and in return form a fortress. But you know, guys, making a fortress against Karpov is not a good idea. In a sense, Karpov has a powerful weapon which can destroy any possible fortress. b5 seems to be another inaccuracy which is weakening the queen side, too much. Yeah, that was really very strange to see b5 in this game, and now the pawn on a6 also drops. Meanwhile, black is hopelessly trying to keep the position solid, but just no way out, you know. Karpov is an unstoppable machine, a strategical monster who is just great in realizing even a slight advantage, while in this case we have a totally winning position. What are you hoping for when proceeding with this game? White is neutralizing the mating threat and then is offering an exchange of queens, which was accepted. And now, so white is an exchange up and has an extra pawn, right, guys? Yeah, this is really very strange that Zaitsev kept on making moves. As we know, in the endgame, the king is the strongest attacking piece and white is centralizing it, but still he's hiding his king behind the pawns. Yeah, kings are for hiding. So an exchange of rooks on e3 also followed, and now white pawns are hurrying towards the 8th rank. Rook d3 check, king c8. This is really very strange that Zaitsev is not resigning. Maybe Karpov was in a time trouble, I'm not sure, have no information, but this was really very strange that Zaitsev kept on playing this long, and finally on move 72 we have a resignation. So if g3, then c6, and now mating threat is on the board, and then here b7, yeah, and white pawn is going to be queened. That's why at this point resignation followed. A very dramatic game. It was Zaitsev who was attacking, white king reached the e4 square, but then Karpov managed to defend accurately, moved back his king, solidified his position, and then gradually started to realize the initiative. In the end, a chess puzzle for you where the task is to win with the white pieces. As usual, we'll wait for your answer in the comment section. Thanks for watching, we'll see you in my next video.